Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In this video today, guys, we're going to be diving into the world of Polygon and specifically the price action of the 𝗕𝗃 token. Guys, as we get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here. Right, with that said, done out of the way, let's dive into this technical analysis on 𝗕𝗃. So we're going to start things off with the weekly chart, guys, because I really want to talk about what's happened so far in the bull run and where I think things are likely to go next. As you can see over here on the left hand side, we had the bull run really kind of starting off slowly for the 𝗕𝗃 project. This is something that Chris was acknowledging quite early on. He had high hopes for this project during the early stages, and we used to talk about it quite a bit on the channel, but people weren't generally that interested in it. With that being said, though, Chris always liked it and was quite vocal about it on our live streams about how he really saw this thing flying. So for the first part of this bull run, it really didn't do too much. With that being said, though, as soon as we got into the new year, this thing absolutely started to fly. We have seen 42,000% in gains in 434 days. Ultimately, I'm not sure if there's a single bank in the world that will offer you that kind of return on investment in such a short space of time. Overall, once we kind of got that peak at about $2.70, we started to see a bit of a pullback. This was quite natural and very much in line with the rest of the crypto market. Since then, we have recovered, but we did find some rejection points just up here on the Fibonacci 618 area. I'm going to get into that in a moment. Overall, we are seeing this thing potentially flying up to about $9.43, which would be about 606% from the current position. Overall, the structure so far is working for us. We had a small pullback last week, again in line with what was going on with Bitcoin, and again we should be looking for a nice push to the upside in the near future. We can take a look at the stochastic RSI, pretty much oversold during this second wave correction here, overbought during this initial kind of phase just here, oversold at the beginning, right, and overbought right during this kind of third wave push, and then oversold in our correction. Right now we're heading up to the overbought area, but it's been a bit slow, which is perfectly fine. We've got plenty of room to grow here on this weekly chart and the stochastic RSI for 𝗕𝗃. So overall, nothing to really report that's wrong with this. We potentially can go sideways for a bit here, and then towards the end of the bull run, I think this thing's going to absolutely fly. Okay, so again, that could be the end of December or going into the new year by the time we actually start to see this thing peak out. But we are talking about 606% gains still left on the table after a very significant push of 42,000%. So pretty good progress so far. Very good return on investment. As we come back into our daily chart here we can see a little bit more of the detail of what's been going on most recently. So obviously, when we started to see that peak come in at about $2.70, we first of all saw a sharp decrease and then a bounce back to the 786 area just here, rejected from the 786, and then we obviously came all the way down to these lower areas, which we can acknowledge were about the 61 cent area. So again, pretty significant pullback here, and then we started to see a good recovery. Now up here we can see that we've been challenged by a few areas, and we started to work our way up towards the 618, this yellow box area just here, coming and getting rejected just from this area, just short of it. This was coming in at about $1.80. And from here, we can obviously see that we are pulling back down. Bitcoin basically pulled us down much further, and then we started to trade sideways, finding a lot of resistance around our 382. And as you can take a look at our stochastic, right, we can see there's a downward trend to it, right, the stochastic RSI. Ultimately, we push up and then we get rejected. This is not something that's going to last forever, because eventually you get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and then you have a huge break to the upside. So right now, although we do have these motions where we're kind of trading sideways, the other thing we have to bear in mind is this trend and this, I guess, lack of or lowering of momentum overall. And this sentiment in the market here for 𝗕𝗃 basically isn't going to last forever. I would say that in the next few weeks, we should have this completely bottomed out, where we'll start seeing an absolute massive tear to the upside. So overall, this is actually a good place to kind of be considering our position and to see us kind of avoid that trend line. I'll actually just draw a trend line on there so you can see this a little bit more clearly than I am currently drawing on, right? Because ultimately, we are seeing this trend line appear here. Now, I can obviously draw it on the orange, which will be the slow lines, and we can see here that basically we'll push up, we'll get rejected, and then we'll continue all the way until we just cannot get out of the oversold area, and that'll be the point where we just absolutely explode to the upside. So on this daily chart, things are looking actually pretty good, and we're seeing a pretty good progress, although it doesn't feel that we're making progress overall, right? The underlying data is definitely working for us, and we just need to kind of bide our time, dollar cost average better positions as we can, and then we'll see a significant push to the upside in the very near future. Okay, it's that point in the video where we want to talk about being safe in the crypto space. We see a lot of scam activity and want to ensure our cheeky community are as safe as possible and prevent anyone from losing their crypto. There are many different scams in the space, but one of the most common and easy to avoid are those hacked wallets and exchanges being hacked themselves. This is where hardware wallets come in. When it comes to choosing a crypto wallet, there is no perfect solution. And no matter which kind of wallet you do choose, if you don't understand the basics of security, you can still become a target of bad actors. Now, like I said, we like hardware wallets because they minimize the risks that we cannot control, such as major data breaches at cryptocurrency exchanges or malware that exploits the zero-day vulnerabilities in mobile and desktop operating systems. To be clear though, hardware wallets are not perfectly safe. They will give you an added level of security and protection though. We do like to use the Ledger devices. We have Ledger Nano S and X on this channel, and these are for a good bang for your buck when it comes to keeping your crypto safe and secure. There are two models, the Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S. The X uses Bluetooth and can be used with your mobile, where the Ledger Nano S, it does require you to actually plug it into a laptop. Those are the two main versions, and we actually use both of them as some cryptocurrencies only work with the Ledger Nano S currently. The Ledger Nano S is smaller, however, with a limit on the amount of different coins that you can hold, whereas the Ledger Nano X can hold up to 100 different cryptocurrencies. You often find yourself having a trade-off between the kind of hardware wallet that you want to buy and obviously the ones that do everything you absolutely need them to do. Now, when it comes to cost and availability, I do find that Ledger is a little bit easier to kind of come by and is more affordable to the everyday individual and investor. When it comes to buying a hardware wallet, we do suggest you research the different types and brands, and I cannot stress this part enough. Only order directly from the manufacturer, as there are many fake hardware wallets out there. If you are interested in a hardware wallet, there is a link to Ledger's official website in the description below. You will be able to find out more details about how to keep your crypto safe there. Guys, let's continue with the video. Right, so at this point we'll do is we'll jump down into our hourly and then we'll talk about what's going on here, because some interesting things did occur. We also started to see this downward trend here, and we're talking about potentially getting wedged in and then having a break. That we actually saw that break occur, and we basically started to push to the upside. We found $1.50 as our resistance line, and again, this is an area that we were finding resistance on previously, and we came up to resistance here. We started to pull back down and found again another area of resistance, right? This was resistance this side before we pushed up, and it became resistance on the way down as well. This was $1.39. From here, we actually fell back down lower. And again, we got a bounce around $1.30, but then we didn't rally very far. Okay, basically, we went from oversold to overbought very quickly. The sentiment just wasn't there, and we're starting to fall back down as we speak. We have loads of room to fall down on our stochastic, so I do anticipate us falling down to at least $1.28, where hopefully we'll turn this into a support line. We can take a look back previously. This was a good, strong support line for us in the past, although it was also an area of resistance. So hopefully this area is going to hold as we potentially come down and then get that bounce back to the upside. Overall, we are in a bit of a time where we have to be patient here for Matic. Take advantage of these trading patterns as they appear. Basically there's opportunities to buy and sell on this dollar cost average better positions, and obviously just build a bag ahead of where we think we are going, which will be that $9 range in the towards the end of the bull run. So overall, there isn't anything majorly wrong. It's just one of those projects that we have to kind of bide our time and try not to get too frustrated with it, and do not act emotionally, and ultimately stick to what your exit strategy is for this particular project. Overall, I do anticipate this one absolutely flying once the market really heats up. You've got to bear in mind what Matic is used for and why its volumes really rose significantly during that third wave to the upside, right? And that is the same reason of why we're going to see it rise significantly in the fifth wave to the upside. So overall, I'm not concerned over these small micro movements that are happening on the hourly. It's good to be aware of them so we do not act emotionally and we understand where they are likely to bounce from. But ultimately, if we are ever concerned, we do take a look at that daily chart. We see the structure of the daily, we see how we're performing overall, where we have been and where we are. But even if that is sometimes a little bit alarming, we can obviously take a look at where we have been previously, the kind of time it took to actually get up to where we were, and obviously to take a look at where our current position is in relation to all of this, and of course where we are heading. This gives you that kind of that bigger picture, that gives you the insight that you need to hodl and to keep your emotions in check as we head up to $9.43 during this bull run. Like I said, that fifth wave is going to be very significant. We are going to see huge potential gains here for Matic overall. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Chris is not a financial advisor, so do your own research. This is TradingView. You can use TradingView. You can sign up. You can get into all of that. You can jump into the advice.io dashboard. Links are in the description. You can sign up there for free as well. You can see the underlying data. You can see how all of these metrics come together, and you can see exactly what is going on. Make your own decision. Do not just believe what I am saying or any other one, any other influencer on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. You are responsible for your own investments, and therefore it's important that you obviously do that research. For me personally, when I take a look at this, I just basically continue to build better positions and of course look at where I'm going, and I keep my exit strategy in mind. And nothing fundamentally has changed for Matic, therefore my strategy hasn't changed, and also all the volatility that you see here is a part and part of the crypto space. Guys, I'm going to leave that video here. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. Right, with this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.